What's happening, everybody? It is me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington.
The swag, oh my God, and the swaggy part with today, I mean, my bad. That's a way to start a review.
Because
Cool.
right before, I just like, I was clearing my system, and this nigga was like,
oh, the swagger, blah.
All right. This is the Blerds in the Hood special spoiler review of Spider-Man.
Bitches. You got a spoiler button or a overlay or something? You normally have that here.
It's going to pop up in the edit. That's what the edit is for. Okay. We'll do it in post. Nigga, what you thought I was gonna just pop up right there? Like,
we'll do it live. There you go. There's a little something.
Typed up.
Hey man, I'm just trying to help out, nigga. I'm just trying to help out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, shouldn't we technically, since it's one for us, shouldn't we put this shit up here?
I mean, might as well.
It's for Blerds. So.
It's for Blerds. Whatever. You know who we are now.
You know who we are.
And here's the best part. If you decide to do that at the beginning, you see right there, if y'all donate after this, literally,
when we start the show, yeah.
We will take the shots on the show. So, like, let's say, for instance, 14 people like, yo, they ain't gonna take these shots, and we get $1,400 in donations. We just gonna start Blerds in the Hood talking about so.
Instead of a video, it'll just be Jay just. Welcome to episode 160. What episode we all did?
We did a review.
Man, we are much nicer to each other on this show when it's not a regular show time. Have you noticed that already? We haven't said a mean thing to each other. Everybody being all friendly and shit. Like we actually like each other some shit, bro.
There's something to be said about the negative energy in a Blerds in the Hood show.
Like Jay will be like, I booked something with wrestling and stand-up yesterday, and I'll be like over here like,
congratulations! Oh my God.
It's just the amount of disrespect that happens. But that's not why we're here. We're here specifically, as you know, as you can tell from the title of this episode, as you can see from the background behind us, Spider-Man No Way Home dropped 2 days ago, man.
Nigga, why would you date it? Spider-Man No Way Home is in theaters. You're not supposed to date it. Like, niggas ain't supposed to know, oh, they decided to watch this recorded on Saturday because they black and late and CP time. We supposed to...
Oh, you gonna edit it out now? Nigga, it doesn't matter. The point is we're doing the review when we do the review. We do it when we did it, okay? That's it and that's all. We did it when we did it. It is what it is, and we're talking about it now. And just, Jay, we've kind of glossed over it a little bit on the regular show. But before we dive heavy into what actually happens in the film, just initial thoughts. Where does this land in Spider-Man films? Where does this land in MCU films? Where does this land in superhero films for you?
Spider-Man films is number one.
Okay.
It moved Miles down. Now, I know a lot of people put Miles up because of Miles being black, being Afro-Latino, and I get it. I understand the what it is. I get it. And I love Miles as a character and his struggles. But to take 21 years... not 21 films, 21 years worth of Spider-Man movies and bring them together and close the loop, right? When it comes to MCU films, I really got to sit and redo my top 10.
Wow.
Because Shang-Chi has jumped up in there.
Yeah.
This is in it now.
Yeah.
Infinity War is going to always be there. Black Panther's going to be there.
Yeah.
Again, you got these other ones. So, like, you really have to, your top 10, no matter who you are, the more these come out, they are going to inevitably shift. Right. And it's shifting. Now, when it comes to superhero movies, definitely in my top 5.
Okay.
Overall. Because there's something about the way we watched the culmination of Tom Holland's Peter Parker in this trilogy into being who we know. We've seen the kid have to become now the man in a sense.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
So that's where it is for me. What about yourself?
As far as Spider-Man films, I'm planning on seeing it a second time either today or early tomorrow morning. It still sits at number 2 for me, but the more I've talked to people about this film, it is inching closer and closer to becoming number 1. I still kind of hold Spider-Verse at it because part of what I think was manipulating, not just because Miles is Black Afro-Latino, but because Spider-Verse was able to do so much with virtually nothing in 90 minutes. This part
What
of
do you mean? What do you mean by virtually nothing?
As in, like, you had some of the lore from the Maguire ones, they kind of tipped their hat to it, but we didn't have previous movies to go off of here. You would just know your Spider-Man lore and that's it, versus all of this, what's happening now, is fully interconnected. You know what I'm saying? So obviously there's comic lore,
I get you, yeah.
but there's no movie lore.
Okay.
Very light amount of movie lore. But the more I thought about it, and also the amount of emotions that I felt dealing with this particular film, the more I was like, that's kind of a stupid take on my part. And I'm starting to come back around now, but I need to just see it a second time to solidify how I feel. But when you talk about what a Spider-Man film is meant to be, and it's meant to be like, what does it mean to sacrifice? What does it mean to be your own man? Because every single Spider-Man story is kind of about that in one way or another. It's the people telling him what he should do and what he should be, and then him making those decisions for himself, whether good or bad. Because sometimes Peter Parker makes bad decisions, and just overall general what's happening. So it's riding that line between 1 and 2 on Spider-Man films. As far as MCU, it's broke the top 5 for me. I'm definitely going to have to sit and hardcore look at where I rearrange things at that point, but it's broken the top 5 there. As far as superhero films, it's at least in my top 10 superhero films. Like it is that good. And who knows, upon multiple rewatches, it's a lot easier to do that when you are able to just pop it on to your TV versus having to go to the theater. Though I would highly recommend, do not wait for it to end up on DVD. I know people are scared of COVID. Find you a nice movie theater if you want to wait a week so people calm down.
Or here's the thing he can tell you real quick. AMC has this thing. Drop $100. Rent a theater out yourself.
It's more expensive for new releases. For new releases, it's like $250. So if you're gonna do that, do it with friends. You need to find the friends you feel comfortable, and then space your bitch ass out. Just put yourself in different places.
Get 5 of the homies. Say, hey, bro. 5, 6 of the homies. Yo, I got a theater. I need everybody to drop 50 real quick. What we watching? Spider-Man No Way Home. All right, why we dropping $50? Because it's only us. That 50 coming in your Venmo or cash.
But I also feel like at that point, if you are paying $250 for that, and it's not every AMC across the country, so check to see if the AMC near you has it. But I would say, just like you said, you can find 25 people that ain't seen it and be like, you all tested and good, fine. Everybody space the fuck out in the theater. Don't sit next to me, bitch. There's like a good 22 rows. Everybody's take some space.
But it's just gonna be weird. It's just weird though. Like you in the back of the theater, right? And you yelling 5 rows down. Winston, you see that shit?
Bro, can you imagine you're just watching it? They're like, you got to be careful where you fall. Someone in the back talk about, ha! Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
somebody's at my door. You start talking. This we're going to actually have to be real. Hold on. I'm going to see what happened at my door.
That's fine. So we'll start at least at the beginning of the film. We're not going to, talk for infinite hours or anything like that. But you start off exactly where the film left off, where the previous film, Far From Home, in Mysterio essentially ruining Peter's life and having one last one.
I mean, this is really the most black shit I've done.
I mean, why? I don't know why our shit is always just hella black and ghetto. Like you picking up Amazon packages and shit. Is it something good, nigga?
Well, it's in a different universe. I just want, because I know what this is.
Oh, okay.
It's in a different universe.
What is it?
So,
it's a pop socket. I mean, a Funko Pop.
It's Chris.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
When they dropped the series, I bought them all, and they finally started coming.
Oh, nice. But I was just talking about the very beginning where we go where Far From Home left off, where Mysterio is ruining Peter's life.
We're not gonna go bit by bit by bit.
No. But we're gonna take it in.
We got it. Yeah, I mean, I'm just letting you know and letting everybody else, because this will be. There's so much. Yes,
we'll be here forever.
Yeah, the thing, like you just said, the fact that it is immediately like there is no. a week later, a
Right.
month later.
It
This
picks
is
up right where we left off.
right where we
Which-
left off.
I was going to mention, because we see Ned. Now, if you want to talk about knowing that a movie is being filmed over time, I got to give a lot of credit to Jacob Batalon because he's lost a lot of weight. You see scenes where he looks just like he did when they kind of wrapped up Infinity War Endgame Far From Home, and then you see what he kind of looks like now. He's been on his weight loss journey, and it would happen all throughout, where all of a sudden you'd be like, probably look a little different here, but then he looked like he used to back here. Like, I don't know if you noticed that, but I definitely, like, from me personally, on my weight loss journey and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? I just noticed it. I don't know if that was something you noticed.
I noticed Jacob Batalon's lace front. Like, I noticed his lace front. His wig.
I forgot because he's bald, isn't he? I didn't even pay attention to that. I didn't pay attention to that
because he's been bald for the longest.
I didn't know that.
He's been bald for dog. He's been bald for a while now.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so yes.
Well, let's take it. How about this? Instead of beat by beat, why don't we take it in acts? So this first act, you essentially have Mysterio.
It's a Spider-Man movie that you've been knowing, right? It's the fun, kooky, quirky, high school kid type shit and dealing with everything. That's what this first act pretty much is.
But it gets mad serious though. It's serious like out the gate because it's like okay, the whole world knows. He immediately panics because everyone surrounds MJ. And they're like, yo, you know him? That your boyfriend. They pull the cameras out and people grabbing on her and shit. And so he swings in to come get her. Now, we talked about this on a Blerds episode, how there was a really shitty review. Someone that just wanted to be the guy that broke the 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, there's no character development. Suck my dick. There is immediate character development in this movie in the fact that, like, right away, you're seeing how Peter is handling all of this immediate fame and how that's going on, how his friends are handling all of that. And then
I wouldn't even call it fame. It's more so infamy.
Well, infamy. Infamy is more correct. I would agree with that. The infamy. And then the fact that, like, the world comes crashing down where the only thing they wanted to do was just be regular ass high school into college students and go to college together and hang out. And because of the choices he's made as Spider-Man, that dream is dead. They're gone.
Bro, the part when at the beginning, when after he drops MJ off, when first of all, when he tried to take the suit off in the bedroom and then May opened the door.
May busts in and he was just like, oh. But then he just throws a t-shirt on. He's just walking around with t-shirt and drawers. Like he's out here putting webbing to try and pull down all the shades.
Because he don't want to explain it first, which also shouts out to Jon Favreau's Happy Hogan, who's just heartbroken in the motherfucker. Yo,
Jon Favreau was in that motherfucking living
I just want my baby.
May put it on Happy. When I'm
apparently,
she put that nigga Happy Hogan was like, we can work it out.
Dude, literally, I'm not trying to meme my whole way through this, but Happy looked like...
So we don't have the capacity.
Like, he was a damn mess, bro.
He was a mess. But again, you got Peter webbing shit because May and Happy have no idea what's going on until all of a sudden the TV is like... Yeah. It's this nigga, and he like, oh shit.
Which brings me to one of my favorite comedic moments by far. Again, character development all over the place. They get taken. All of a sudden, all the tech, Stark tech is taken. They get taken off to get interrogated by what was it? The Department of
Damage Control.
Department of Damage Control. The Damage Control is back. They were trying to do that show and it didn't work out. But they get taken in to get interrogated, and both MJ and May, don't say shit. You wait for your lawyer. Don't you say nothing.
You say nothing. And MJ, the whole time they questioning her, she just like, yeah, but I know you can't do this without blah, blah, blah. Yeah, my rights. And May is like, so are you arresting us? What are you doing?
But then dude got a little sassy with it. Was like, well, so you knew, right? So meaning you were aiding and abetting is what.
And endangering a minor because you're his guardian, which makes you his mother. Oh, but Ned out here was
how, dude. He literally. Do you remember the Boondocks episode with Gangstalicious? He was like, drop the beat, Gangstalicious. My rhymes too vicious. Eat MCs all day, delicious. My whole crew up in this. You know we gonna whip this. Slap up your moms like I slapped Johnny Guinness. 3:00 yesterday. I don't care what they say sugar shouldn't really play, so I hit him with the Hennessy. They arrested that nigga. That's essentially what.
I need y'all to go back to episode 167 of Blerds in the Hood when you watch this. I said a line that says in the show, for some reason, every episode of Blerds in the Hood has a Boondocks reference. Every episode.
Bro. And so I literally was like, oh, this nigga about to tattle on himself. And he's like, no, I didn't do that. I was the guy in the chair and I hacked into the school computer system to do that. And then on the other side, I was the one over here kind of helping with that. I mean, if you don't believe me, you can call Nick Fury. Oh, Nick Fury's been off world. Huh?
Huh? Which also is interesting now, because going back, that little tidbit, go back to Far From Home. Remember, we find out Nick Fury was really Talos, right?
Right. And Nick Fury was on like the sword base.
He's on the sword base.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that Damage Control knows that. You get what I'm saying? Because
that is interesting.
That Damage Control knows he's off world. It's those little small little things, like
it's little things.
You know, like you wouldn't like. I don't know, why would I expect the department? I mean, I guess it's sort of like a Department of Defense type deal, an offshoot, but also, you know, like, just, you know, for a fact he's off world, but you know he's been helping. Nick was supposed to be helping Peter in Far From Home. It's just that little bitty thing.
It's little things. Now, I want to jump ahead for half a second. We'll come back and finish out Act 1. But one of the things about the spell, which we'll get to, is the spell specifically was about people around the world would know about who he is. So at the end, when he says, you know, we'll make it that nobody knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, or they don't even know who Peter Parker is, excuse me. They just don't know who Peter Parker is, right? Do you think that applies to the universe as a whole, or do you think that applies to people on Earth?
Because I think it applies. It's the universe of the current Earth 616.
I was just curious because, you know why? Because, like, again, like you said, the Guardians are off Earth, or so is Thor. Hulk is not Hulk. Captain Marvel and Nick Fury are off Earth. So it makes you wonder, does that mean that if any of them comes back, they're like, I don't know who the fuck Peter Parker is? Like, you know what I'm saying?
My theory behind that is, just in case that happens, all Peter has to do is go to the Sanctum. Because once he tells Strange, you cast a spell, that's all he needs to hear.
But he wouldn't even necessarily get in. The Sanctum doesn't just let you in. You have to be invited in, essentially. So, like,
he can knock on the door. Well, no, he can knock on the door.
I guess he can show up as Spider-Man. Everybody knows who Spider-Man is. So
that's the thing. People know Spider-Man. He doesn't know. Right. Everybody knows Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Spider-Man. No one knows Spider-Man and Peter Parker are the same.
Yeah.
So if he tells Strange, yo, because Spider-Man will be woke. Spider-Man is welcome into the Sanctum, right?
Yeah.
He takes the mask off. This is who I am. You cast a spell. Once those words happen, okay, bet. Speaking of which, I want to make sure since we brought up the spell. Marvel did something again. Marvel Studios primarily does this, where what you see in the trailer isn't always what's in the film.
Of course. So, like, the whole wink, like, when he was wink, that was the one that stuck out to me. He didn't wink at him, and I think a lot of people were like, oh, here's Mephisto, or like, oh, it's the evil Doctor Strange, and I'm like, no, I don't, that would be complicating this too much.
Not even that. I said, I'm sorry to cut you off, bro. I said on Twitter, I said, yo, did y'all even watch the first Doctor Strange movie? Strange has always been doing shit he wasn't supposed to do.
No, I get that. I think it was people were more caught on to the sassiness. So again, the winking at Peter.
It's still Doctor Strange in the first movie. It's still Stephen Strange. That is all. That's the thing. People forget about Stephen Strange. Like, we went, and some people watched Doctor Strange one time and then just waited until everything else, right? And Infinity War and Endgame. But if you watch Doctor Strange over, once he gets invited into Carmitage and all these different things, and Wong is telling him not to do this, the Ancient One's telling him not to do that, Mordo's telling him what not to do, he's still just doing it.
Yeah.
So it's always been what Strange does, but the wording, the nod, all these little things that were in the trailer aren't there. So, like, basically, you know, Peter asks Strange to do a spell where people can forget that I'm Spider-Man.
Right.
Wong says,
well, wait, real quick, because I guess we already kind of touched on the fact that they're all trying to get into college. They don't get into any of their safety schools, and they don't get into MIT, and that's the one thing that they really wanted.
Right. And
but so then he shows up to Strange to cast the spell.
Right. But then Wong is about to go somewhere because now Wong also, we find out Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme.
Which actually explains the Eternals. So spoiler for that if you haven't seen it. I don't know. It's been months now. But that scene, why he is, or not Eternals, Shang-Chi, why he is the one talking to them being like, the beacon and all that shit, because Doctor Strange is no longer Sorcerer Supreme. That's not his responsibility to do that.
Not his responsibility. Yeah. Here's the question though. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure if it's answered or if I missed it. When does Shang-Chi happen? Is Shang-Chi during the blip time?
I'll tell it. No. It's not during the blip time. The reason why is because to remember during the cut scene you had Wong, Captain Marvel. There's too many people on Earth for that to happen, and they mentioned the blip during Shang-Chi.
Yeah, they do. Okay.
But this Shang-Chi happens before this, and the reasoning for that just is remember based off of how a lot of this is playing out for Spider-Man. We see the Rogers musical and we see the Christmas tree and all that. So it's possible this took place over the course of months and months, but that's not typically how long these films last.
A lot of them, and I've been telling everybody this, one thing people have to remember, Marvel Studios has a way of doing this and we forget. Phase 1 had this, it started it where Iron Man 2, Thor, and Hulk were all at the same time.
So this is happening during, if I had to guess, before and during Hawkeye, because we see the Christmas tree in New York, because we see Rogers the musical, and all that. This is happening before/during Hawkeye,
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he goes to Strange to cast a spell. He does the thing that kids do, man, where you're like, "Ooh, I forgot something. Ooh, I forgot something else. Ooh, shit, I forgot that shit too."
And you got Strange,
like, nigga, will you shut the fuck up?
Hey, without him saying it, anybody who's ever been around a black parent,
bro. Ooh, happy. No, I'm not happy, little nigga. Shut up. Shut
I'm not happy. He's like, ooh, happy. I am not happy right now. Because he's like, yo, shut the fuck up. Like, because Strange is doing the spell the way he wanted. And he was like, no one's gonna remember anything. And he's like, oh shit, what about MJ? Oh shit, what about Ned? My Aunt May, happy. He's like,
the only thing about that's really stupid to me, bro, you can literally just go tell them again.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, how do you the telling might be kind of weird because the way they found out, again, Ned's in his room putting together a Lego Death Star when he finds and he sees him come in the window. MJ was like, I kind of put 2 and 2 together. Like, it wasn't that difficult. Yeah. And so
Aunt May walks in on him at the end of the first movie. And
what the fuck?
I
need the what the... Again, let me ask this question before we go any further. Who gives us the first fuck in the MCU? And don't say Deadpool.
Probably Logan again. So just like in First Class, we're like, hi, we're putting together and go fuck yourself. Okay, well, like I think that might be Logan comes in and then you get your first F-bomb.
Because I wonder, because like in Shang-Chi, you got a whole bunch of this shit. Oh shit. I was like, well, damn. So again, the spell is happening. Peter, whatever it was, it finally breaks Strange's concentration. What we see in the trailer, the multiverse, in a sense, going through a thing, and then him bringing it all back together at the last second. Don't know what's going on, right? All of a sudden, Peter is trying to figure out how to get into MIT. Flash, is sitting here because, oh my gosh, shout out to Tony Revolori because
him getting the blonde hair, bro.
Him like, I've been his best friend. I've been Peter's best friend.
Homie trying to sell books. You can check it out at my motherfucking book. Spider-Man's best friend, nigga. Like, what you
this nigga wrote a book that fast.
Bro, it has been like what? Well, okay, so if it was them coming back from that summer, let's see, they went on a summer trip and they were coming back to school. That's the only thing that's a little off to me, timeline-wise, is I don't know about you, but when
they don't do. So they do time. Here's the thing: the way they make time move, and I'm noticing this from watching TV to when we now start writing scripts. Unless it's notated that it's the next day, time has moved. Unless it's specifically notated that it's that next hour, day, evening, or the next day. You have to assume days and months and weeks have moved because they do
for sure. No, I get it. So I guess is the idea then that this is all that they have a irregular, but a senior year, and that's the whole like talking on the phone with each other about him being famous.
It's right. This is their senior year.
So they go through their whole senior year essentially.
Yes.
Unless maybe it's early admission. Oh, it must be early admission.
It's early admission before Christmas.
Well, right. That's what I was saying. So this is the fall semester of high school. That's all I was trying to get to. It's just where does this fall through? So they go through a majority of the year. They don't get into MIT, and they essentially say it's too complicated. That's where he goes and asks about the spell. When he leaves, he's like, you know what? That was the funniest part. So, oh man, all right. Well, if that didn't work, I guess I'll go try and talk to MIT. And he goes, little nigga, you didn't fucking go and call them and ask.
He said, wait. You didn't even do.
Bro, I was so sure that homie was about to fucking take the bands of Sidorak and choke this little nigga out. I was sure that just
you know what? I forgot to mention, we missed an important part.
Which part?
After everybody goes to
Charlie Cox?
Yes.
Okay.
So they're talking to his lawyer, and this nigga's lawyer is Matt Murdock, played by Charlie Cox. And again, I'd always said this because the way the internet has been for the past 2 years, everybody, because again, it was easy to throw shit at a wall to see what sticks, right? It was so easy to do it when you knew that what this was going to involve. I was like, I just want Charlie Cox to show up as a regular public defender.
But the funniest thing to me, Bryce. I didn't want that. I wanted him to come as Matt Murdock. But the funniest thing, and I was debating with people about this, when homie said like his senses are good enough to like time it and to catch it, but my nigga doesn't have superhuman strength. So when that brick is coming full terminal velocity through a window, he just says "cut," and he goes, "How'd you do that?" I'm a really good lawyer. I was like, that's a funny line, and I like the reflexes. I was just hoping that it was going to be a scenario where like he uses his stick to like deflect it because again. My nigga's hands are not superhuman strength hands. That shit would hurt. I would love him to catch and go, ha! And then put it down. Like, you know what? But apparently I'm the only one that bothers.
You are. You're the only one. You're the only person who gave a fuck about that. Everybody else was like, nigga, Daredevil's here. Here you are. He don't have superhuman strength. Like
how you just gonna catch a brick with his bare hand? My lawyer wants to caught a brick with his bare hand. No bullshit. Like,
just for the record, he is not being racist. He is doing an impression of Jackie Chan.
From literally, we just watched the Rush Hour bloopers for some reason before this. So he goes.
Mad that I had to do a disclaimer for you. He is not a racist.
So he goes to try and talk to the MIT lady. He's like, look, MIT would be stupid if they'll take, MIT stupid, huh? He's like, no. I just mean like, they're really good. Like, don't worry about me. And then all of a sudden, Spider Sense goes off. Here's the Otto Octavius. They have a fight. Doc Ock doesn't see his face beforehand, so he just thinks he's fighting his Peter. They get in the battle. He rips off homie's chest plate and goes, nanites? Come on, man. I ain't worried about no nanites. And right as he's about to punch a hole through him, Peter takes his mask off and goes, you're not Peter. And then he's still going to hit him. And the Stark Tech's like, nah, nigga, you done. And that's
the Stark Tech, the nanites Bluetooth connected.
Bro, how many times are these nanites actually going to be the real hero of the MCU? You stopped Thanos from destroying the universe a second time, and now you stopped Doc Ock from just shoving a fucking metal fist through your face.
Because it was like when he got it at first, it was like he was absorbing it. And it was all like, the nanites was like, okay. And this motherfucker was like, ugh.
Bro, the nanites were like, yo, look at this basic bitch ass tech. That's why we need. That's why they needed a minute. They were like, this shit runs on floppy drives. I'm like, I need to go ahead and rip out the retro tech.
Is this nigga got Duracells in his back? Duracells?
Yo, this nigga got dial-up in his back. This is some old bullshit.
Yeah, oh my God, they running off a disc. Oh my God.
Nigga, this MS-DOS. What the fuck? This some MS-DOS shit.
C-DOS run.
So once this is realized, and right as he saves the MIT woman and does the blackest, most Latina thing possible, where after like Doc Ock clearly can't do anything, shame on you. You ought to be ashamed of your damn self out here trying to hurt everybody, blowing up cars and shit.
But she does tell Peter, you are a hero. Because again, everybody believes he's a criminal and a vigilante thanks to J. Jonah Jameson, who is basically Alex Jones in this world. But he's basically Alex fucking Jones. But she tells him, you are a hero. I'm going to talk to them. Basically,
for all three of you.
For all three of you. This is where Peter, I'm sorry, real quick. But this is where Peter's selflessness comes in because he's really just like, no, I'm not about me, just them. She's Peter.
I think that's super, super important. I think it's super important because it's something we watch throughout, that this is always, always, always about him being selfless. The only time he really gets selfish is what we'll get to the major tragic moment. And we do kind of need to speed this along because we're 30 minutes in and we barely got to Goblin throwing a bomb. They get transported back to the Sanctum Sanctorum and it's like, bruh. So here's what had happened. Everybody that knows that Peter Parker's Spider-Man showing up now. So here's what you're gonna need to do. I'm gonna need you to go and capture them all, and then I'm gonna find a way to reverse and send all these niggas.
You're gonna have to go catch these niggas like Pokemon. So what we're gonna do? So your suit fucked up because nigga threw paint on it. Now you got to. So everybody saw the black and gold magical suit and was like, "Oh shit, he gets it." But what you didn't see because of the trailers is it's just his suit inside
out, bro. It's because then once we see it in the thing, it's got wires sticking out and shit. Like it's so.
I was like, that's dope on the way they edited the trailer.
Yeah.
Because everybody thought it was just a regular magic suit.
Right. But it gives him the magic shooter
the gauntlet.
For him to be able to shoot the gauntlet that allows him to shoot magical webs that will transport them back to the Sanctum Sanctorum to be in this little basement dungeon. So he goes out because he gets word about he gets the homies to come through and they're helping look for the people and all that. They're
looking for the goblin because he doesn't get the goblin at first. He's thinking he's looking for the goblin.
They think they found him because they found a disturbance, but they end up finding two other people. They find Sandman and they find Electro. Sandman is actually helping him while Electro's like, Spider-Man, I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker. So they put the homie down. He ends up destroying all the power lines so he can't draw power. Sends them both back.
First of all, I need to make sure we get this part. So the Electro shows up. It is Max Dillon from Amazing Spider-Man 2. It is blue.
Yes.
It's blue Max Dillon until this nigga gets hit with so much juice. And from being in another dimension, this nigga's body comes back. And at one point, Sandman and Spider-Man are talking to him. And then Electro, Jamie Foxx says, so y'all not going to say that about the fact I'm just standing here butt-ass naked? Because that was the thing this movie did. It was aware of itself. Because certain things that I wouldn't say aware of itself being meta, but there are parts in TV and film where you'll be like, yo, ain't nobody going to address this.
Well, what I loved more than anything, I was talking to Coy and Christian about this, man, is the fact that clearly John Watts, the writers, Kevin Feige, they went and looked at what everybody's bitching and moaning was about the first two Tom Holland Spider-Mans, and they even looked at some of the bitching and moaning from previous Spider-Man films, and then they were like, all right, nigga, I got your ass. So, for example, when he's still a criminal and the paper comes out and the Iron Man Jr., is he a renegade and like all that shit, they're calling out the people that are like, this is just Iron Man Jr. And they literally will put little nods and homages to that shit. So, the same thing.
The lizard comes through and Strange has already pre-kidnapped the lizard, who they keep calling this nigga a dinosaur.
It doesn't say anything for a long time. He's just hissing and shit at people.
So when Max finally drops in, all of a sudden, you know, they're talking about the villains, and Otto is like, "Wait, that's
you heard a green what? You're talking? That's Norman Osborn. That's
he's
not possible.
Dead.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Like, what you talking about? Well, I saw him. It's like, no, he's dead. That doesn't make sense. And so they start to piece together that all of the villains that were coming, well, not all of them, because that was the one thing that was confusing to me. Lizard didn't die. Sandman didn't die. So, but Electro, you could make the argument he died, but
he's energy. Energy never dies.
Exactly. The little fluctuating thing just went out.
Yeah.
So there was always possibility it could come back. But Octavius was like, well, I was fighting Spider-Man and the machine was going off and I was just about to get him when I ended up here.
So again, their time, even though they're in different universes, they're not running at the same time.
So this is what I think. This is the theory that I've come up with this. They took the most recent version of them alive in their universes, and that's who came through. That's why you get 40-year-old Maguire later. That's why you get like mid-30s, early 30s Garfield later, is because it's wherever that individual was at the most recent point in their history, that's who came through. If that makes sense.
So back to another thing they nod to. Remember in Amazing Spider-Man 2, one of the things I've always said, and a lot of other people have said it, Max Dillon, Jamie Foxx's character, had the worst hair, buck-ass teeth with a gap this wide, and glasses. And when he became Electro, that nigga's grill was like, come together. Okay? Right now. But the Lizard, they start talking because, again, the Lizard and Electro are in the same world. And so Electro's like, yo, I know that. That's Kurt Connors. He was a great genius who turned himself into a lizard. And then the Lizard says, Max, last time I saw you, you had a comb over glasses and messed up teeth. What happened? You get a makeover?
He's like, well, bro, this is the funniest line. He goes, well, they were running experiments. I fell in a vat of electric eels. And the Sandman goes, oh, I fell in a super collider. It's like, man, you gotta watch where you fall.
Which for me, the humor that they allowed the villains to, again, because it wasn't like it was forced.
Bro, with the lizard, where they were like, Max, I can fix that. How? You gonna turn me into a lizard? Well, yeah, I was gonna turn you into a lizard. I turned everybody into a lizard.
Everything is better when you are lizards in the world. So the Goblin, after the initial fight, because this is where shit starts to change. Remember, the Goblin is still two people in one body. Right. The Goblin is its own thing, and Norman Osborn is another. So Norman ends up in the alley, and he's just talking to the mask like, you're weak and you're pathetic, Norman. But so Norman wants to get help, and the only person he knows to help him is Peter Parker. So he reaches out, how can I find Peter Parker? Well, somebody can't direct you to Peter, but they can direct you to his aunt, May Parker. Exactly. Goes to this place where May's at, and then Peter goes there, and he's like, you're not Peter. And she's like, he about to blast this motherfucker. And May basically is like, yo, you can't kill him. He basically has to have a second chance of life. Because
that was the thing, though, is Strange hasn't yet told him that they're going to die. He was just like, you need to round everybody up and all that. So essentially goes and gets him. Now, I'll be honest with you. I initially did not believe. I was like, this nigga up to something. I don't believe it. And someone pointed out the way to tell that it was still Goblin in control early on, while Peter is arguing with May, Norman is in the back. He takes one donut, then my nigga starts stealing all the donuts and shoving them in his jacket.
Yes.
That's the most Goblin shit ever. It's a minor petty crime, but as much as he can do to fuck with people.
I will steal all these guys.
Everybody likes donuts.
I just wanted Macy Gray's sideburns to appear in the movie, but it didn't. Anyway.
Takes him back to the Santorum. Strange throws him in the prison. And he's like, all right, cool. I came up with this counter spell. We're going to hit this button. Everybody's going to go back to the thing. He's like, wait, we just heard that a lot of them literally were about to die. They're going to die. And he goes, it doesn't matter, Peter. They got to go back. And then we get one of the coolest fights in the fucking MCU where Peter's out here fighting Doctor Strange, which apparently happens a decent amount in the comics.
Yes.
My homie is actually holding it down, bro. And the fact that, like, we got to see at one point when he's in the mirror dimension, the spider sense actually, like, did you see it? The little lines above his head. But bro, when he knocks homie out of his body into his astral form, and the spider sense is still keeping the box.
The spider, because Strange is like, this is not supposed to happen.
How is this happening?
And Peter floats. This nigga swims his way in the astral plane back to
and then he
his
goes,
body.
That was the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. Don't ever do it again. But bro, the fact, and this is the thing that I loved about this more than anything, and one of the reasons why I've loved this iteration of Spider-Man, the fact that Spidey, knowing he's outmatched, which happens a lot for him. He's very strong, but he's outmatched. So what does he do? He outthinks Strange. He goes, so the mirror dimension is just math. Math is great. I could beat you with math.
It's like, it's just geometry.
Exactly. I'm great at geometry. So homie starts planning it all perfectly, and then all of a sudden, flip, and all of Doctor Strange is trapped in the mirror dimension.
Because he's like, if I just do it, he's like, it's just circular. So he shoots the webs at precise angles because he realizes how it twirls, and it just catches Strange. And then the best part of the fight is afterwards, Strange's sling ring gets knocked off, right?
No, Peter takes it. Peter takes it with him. He snatches the sling ring because he doesn't want him to follow him. So he's like, that should buy me some time. He snatches the sling ring. He snatches the box, gives the sling ring to Ned to hold on to. And we're like, did homie just solo Doctor Strange right now? Jesus.
Because it's a callback to later. Remember in Doctor Strange in Thor Ragnarok when Strange drops Loki and he just drops Loki and they go into the sanctum and they talking and then all of a sudden Loki shows back up. He was like, I've been falling for 30 minutes. So at one point, Ned is told by his grandmother thinks that this family's magical. So like Ned and MJ are trying to find Peter because he's going around. You've
jumped because they're not trying to find Peter until May dies. So once he beats Doctor Strange, he goes and talks to the villains. Oh, yeah. I can hit the button and you can go back, or
I can fix you.
I can try and fix you and give you another chance at life. And most of them are like, I don't know, nigga, but it's better that than just instant death. So fine, I guess we'll go along with it. So they go back to Happy's place. There's some old Stark tech. He's able to use essentially a super 3D printer that Tony left him, and he's able to actually come up with a cure for Doc Ock. And all of a sudden,
he makes the inhibitor.
He makes an inhibitor that actually solves the problem.
That gives him back control. It gives him back control.
Absolutely. So with that's where we actually get the new suit because he gives the nanobots back to Peter, and you get the homage to the PlayStation 4 spider suit that was there. That's essentially what that is. You called that earlier, so I'm giving you props on that one, man. But then we start going through the process of making cures for other people. So you get the one on Electro, and then all of a sudden Peter's like, something's off. And you get this really creepy moment where he's using his spider sense. He's trying to figure it out. You think maybe it's J. Jonah Jameson downstairs, and that's what he's sensing. What he's sensing is that Norman is not Norman. Norman is the Goblin, and
because he was making a formula. Because he was making a formula that was supposed to remove the Goblin. That's
what it would have done is remove Norman.
It removes Norman because the Goblin still has Norman's genius in him. So they're both writing the formula together. Peter doesn't know what the formula is. Peter just knows that the formula will remove something. And so he gives a thing for Electro, he's a thing for Sandman, all that, and the Lizard as well. And so again, Norman all of a sudden, because he's looking at everybody.
That's what I was saying. He had the only two things. Norman and him were working on the Goblin one, though it was mainly Norman at the head of it, and then Peter was working on the Electro. They hadn't gotten to the other two yet.
They made them. They had made them.
No, not yet. I know why they haven't, because remember, Garfield later says, I had a cure.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. My apologies.
And then they work on a Sandman thing together. So
you're right. My apologies.
You're good. You're good.
You're right.
So Norman, now we get the most wild fucking fight ever, bro. Go for it.
Nigga, let me tell you something.
I saw your tweet, bro, because I felt the same way. I was actually disturbed watching this fight, but it was incredible.
Tom Holland did a press interview, and he said the fight between him and the Green Goblin is extremely intense. And I've said this to everybody. He understated that. These niggas start fighting, and Norman Osborn is beating the shit. I've never seen a nigga get power bombed through concrete through several floors. He had this. Well, Peter jumps up on him with the legs and trying to punch him. First of all, the Goblin eating all these punches like it ain't shit. That's
bro. As soon as he gets webbed, right before the fight starts, Goblin essentially is looking at everybody like, "Gotcha, bitch." And he literally is like, "We're gods. You don't change yourself." And so, like, all of a sudden, that's where Jamie's like, "You're right, nigga. Why the fuck am I don't want to be no regular ass dude." So he
right at the last one when it was about to be done,
he breaks that shit off. Sandman's like, "Man, I ain't never gonna get out of here now." So he takes off. The fight's happening. He's getting his ass whooped through story after story after story. And they finally get to the bottom, and May tries to help and hits this nigga with the 2x4. He goes, "Bitch." And that's when he looks, he's like, "Peter, you know what you need? You need a little bit of, like, I'll give you what you need." And essentially he knew he needed that rage.
Goblin, so May hit Goblin with a 2x4. Goblin was like,
I said, bitch.
Bro, literally, all of a sudden you see that glider coming in. And like, I didn't expect her to stand up after this, but when she get hit by the glider, I was expecting it to be insta-death. I didn't know he was going to get a moment to still talk to her, because the glider was moving at like 60 miles per hour, and she literally just went like her ass Like, bro, she just went flying through the air. Like, that was a wrap, bro. That was a wrap for her. She was gone.
Well, I thought it was going to be, I thought she was going to go. I knew the glider was going to hit her, but I thought it was going to be the Blerds. I thought she was going to go.
I thought so too. I thought he was going to stab her, but instead knocked the shit out of her.
And it knocked her into something that pierced her. Because all of
some people were saying that it's going to be one of those moments, just like in Fight Club, where if you pause it, you can see Tyler Durden flash for a second. It sounds like people are saying they heard the blades come out of it, so that if you pause it when we finally have it on Blu-ray, you can see that the glider extended its blades at the last second.
Okay, yeah, because she gets not. First of all, before we go in, because I know we got to keep going. One of the things about this, Peter has had a bunch of fights throughout his movies, and you've seen like some of the battle damage on him. Shouts out to the visual effects and the makeup department, because they showed you.
They made my nigga's eye big and red and swollen at one point, which is also a symptom of whenever you catch a black eye, if it hits your eyeball, it'll fucking swell. So whatever fucking makeup they had to do, that was amazing.
They made sure it looked like, because like you'd be like, okay, like even in Spider-Man 1, the blast from the pumpkin bomb that we saw Tobey Maguire take, like, okay, it has some good look to it. This shit looked like he had been getting the fuck beat out of him, which he did.
He did get the fuck beat out of him. So that's the point. He ends up. Now, the cool thing that I love that we didn't mention before, by him destroying the original kind of the goblin mask and everything, and he keeps the armor, but he gets rid of everything else. He then puts on that purple hoodie, and we really get more of the OG goblin look to him.
Yep.
So he kept the armor, but instead of that goofy ass fucking mask, you then put the fucking helmet on, or
with
the
that
hood
face,
on him,
with the face.
And, oh, dude, where he took just the broken part of it to keep there to like whatever. Oh, it was amazing. Which, by the way, this sequence from Norman being outed as Goblin for real and Peter losing May. I don't know about you, man, but this is a moment where I don't necessarily think that either of them should. Norman would be for supporting character. I don't necessarily think that Tom or Willem Dafoe should win the Oscar, but I do think they both should be nominated because honestly, this is some of the best acting of the year. It's not even close, but it's a superhero film, so we know that they're probably not going to get the recognition they deserve.
Also, the fact Willem Dafoe, who is 66 years old, said he was only going to do the Green Goblin if he did his own stunts and everything. Mm-hmm. So, yes, you nominate that man. Tom Holland, we saw a little bit of his emotion in Infinity War with the Mr. Stark, the improvised moment, right?
My guy has hit every moment here from the little, like I was talking to somebody about his look to MJ. Multiple
when
times.
they see him, after she died,
and just well, both when he sees me, but even just when they're just being cute with each other. I'm saying that from every level. I know that is an unfair advantage that he gets because he's working with the person that he's dating. But my point is,
when you know somebody biblically,
we're not doing this. My point is, he hits so many different emotional highs and lows throughout this film, and so.
Okay, sorry.
Shut your stupid ass up. Say that, folks. What did your dumb ass say it?
So my point is just the emotional highs and lows we see, including right now when we'll see when he fights the goblin at the end, the extreme despair here and the pure rage then. He is going to a place that a lot of people cannot readily access. A lot of people try when they're acting, and it a lot of times comes out very cheesy. This felt very fucking real that this was actually happening. Like, how many times have you seen somebody like get shot in a movie like, no! Oh, my Lord Jesus! But like, homie genuinely went there. And so now we get the point where he runs off. MJ and Ned, this is what you were talking about. They were like, we just got to find our friend. He's not okay. And then like the last time they were doing stuff together, he had the sling ring. He did like that. And he'd hit a little spark. So like, remember you had a little spark? Like, can you? And he's like, I don't know. My grandma always said I was magical. I could try.
I need to find Peter.
Bring me Peter.
Peter.
Oh, that kind of work. Do it again. Show me Peter Parker. And then I don't know about you, but instantly knew the first one was Garfield because he has a very particular shaped head in the spider suit. I'm just being honest.
He was tall. I knew he was tall. I saw how tall he was.
It wasn't the height. It was for me. It was
for me. It was
the
the
shape
height
of his head. For me, it was the shape of his head, and that's no diss. It's not an awkward shaped head. It is a very distinctive shape. And so I was like, that's Garfield. And then here he comes, and bro, the argument of like, prove that you're Spider-Man. He goes, okay.
No,
so
he says first he says, do you think I just dress like this to dress like this? And then they're like, yo,
prove it, crawl on the ceiling. He's like, I'm not going to do that. They're like, well, then you need to show it. So he just sticks right here. He's like, well, that's not enough. That is more than enough.
This nigga is on his fingertips, not even his whole head.
Just his fingertips. That is more than enough. No, it's not. But then the grandma speaking in Tagalog?
It's Tagalog. Oh, I never know exactly how to pronounce it.
But essentially telling him, well, she said, since you're up there, can you get the cobwebs down? And he was like, oh, yes, ma'am. So that's when he like crawls over to go get them.
Hey, this nigga is on the ceiling. It was just like, so then they was like, well, try to get Peter again. I need to find
bring me Peter Parker.
And comes through Tobey Maguire. And then at some point, Ned's grandmother's just like, I'm going to bed. I'm not finna.
Well, bro, before that, you remember they were like, oh, that's not our Peter. What? And then they all start shooting webs. And then she goes, hey, y'all need to clean this shit up. You ain't just going to come in my house.
Shoot webs.
Just shoot webs all over the place. Yes, ma'am. We'll clean it. We're sorry. But go.
No, go ahead. So then basically they start trying to say, look, how do I find Peter? Where would he go? What would be something that would connect to him?
I would go Chrysler. Do you know a place that he would go to be alone and to think?
And they found out where he went. It's on the roof. And so they're going, and then he just hugs MJ and Ned because he's just so sad. He's just broken. And so then they're trying to figure out how to stop them because we're going to move forward. Basically, it was like, well, Garfield was like, well, I fought the lizard. I know how to basically stop him. And then, Maguire's like, yeah, I know about it.
Well, that was the thing. He said, for years, I've been thinking about how I could have cured the goblin serum because of Norman and of Harry. So I think I can come up with that, which, to be honest with you, this is one of the things, like, for me, Maguire was my least favorite live-action Spider-Man. There was a lot of final arcing that happened in this that I have a massive love for him now. One of the things that I had beef with, the whole point of Peter Parker is not just the spider powers, that this motherfucker is a scientist. This nigga is smart, and he solves a lot of his problems before he even gets in the fights, or in the middle of them, he comes up with the plan because of his intelligence. So to see Peter the scientist, played by Tobey in that regard, added this element that was missing for me in 3 films previously.
No, I agree.
I loved it. I love that they became science bros. They did the fucking spider point. Hey, Peter Parker. Yeah, with you, with him. Which one are you talking about? Which one?
And so at one point, because before then, this is when they have the conversation with Peter. And he's like, I lost my Aunt May. And before she died, she said, with great power comes
great responsibility. How did you know that? Uncle Ben told us that. And it's like, we know how upset you are. For me, it was my Uncle Ben. For me, it was Gwen Stacy. And bro, when I tell you, I'm just going to jump to Andrew saving MJ later.
And everybody said that's what it was in the trailer. Everybody was like, because you saw in the trailer, they let you know that this was Andrew Garfield coming because you saw
that the hand looked a little different. It looked a little different. But
it was just the Desire falling part.
Yeah.
It was everybody was like, it's going to be him. That
I hollered. I don't know if you heard me in the screening, but I hollered, redemption! And then I shed a single tear. But I just, redemption! Like, that was it, because I was so happy for that nigga. Because then when he landed, bro, he was bawling. You saw that, right?
Bawling.
Because he was like, oh my God, the one thing I couldn't do. Like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Because MJ that's the equivalent of his Gwen Stacy. So he knew if she died, how that would affect him. So basically, all this happens, right?
They get the cures. They know they can use the box.
But be real quick because we got to talk about this 2 parts. One, Tobey Maguire is not wearing his suit. This motherfucker has on a shirt.
When they go to fight them, what did he say? He said, so you going to like suit up or you just going to go out and look like a cool youth pass? That was the thing that killed me. All the humor in this movie was hilarious, but the 3 Spider Bros are fucking hysterical together, bro.
So you know when I have my web shooters, because when Tobey Maguire shoots it, it just comes out his wrist. They're like, "What the fuck is that?"
Does it come out of any other part of your body? Like, bro, when they're like, "Does it ever not work?" Because like sometimes I gotta make more web food. Does it ever not work?
What do you do with web blockage?
He's like, I do have web blockage sometimes. I have an existential crisis or two, and then you gotta worry about that. But otherwise, I'm good.
It was like, what? Because the look they gave was like, where the fuck does it come out of?
So they go to the Statue of Liberty, where they are attaching a Captain America shield to the torch, which, if I remember, J. Jonah Jameson was like, they're defacing another national monument.
Yeah.
So they get there and they know they can lure everybody in, and this is where the fights start, and they start losing, and they're like, I'm not used to doing this team shit. I don't really do this solo. So like,
look, guys, I was part of a team. I was with the Avengers. Oh my God, that's so great.
That's so cool. You were in a rock band. I don't know how that really helps right now. I was like, no. Like Earth's Mightiest Heroes, y'all don't have that. It's like, no, I don't know what that is. I don't really help here. He's like, okay, just everybody do your thing and use your spider senses to coordinate, and we'll just work together that way. And everyone take one, and we'll like, okay. And it starts to work. They are able to stop Sandman with the device. They get that. They're able to hit Lizard with the gas. They're able to get Electro with the thing, which I love the moment when after Electro gets depowered and Andrew goes over to him and he goes, hey man, I would swore you were black, dog. Because what did he say first? He goes, no, I guess that was in Amazing Spider-Man 2. He's like, you're not Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a Leo and you're a Sagittarius or some shit.
Yep.
So and this is like, man, I would have sworn you were black. Maybe you were just out here helping people and shit. And to me, some people were like, ha, that's just JB Fox. I was like, nah, nigga, that's a Miles.
That's a Miles
nod.
Yep, that's a Miles Morales nod.
That's a very smart Miles nod. And so finally, the big thing, Goblin shows up now, and Tom Peter is fucking pissed. And my nigga, I forgot before we get to that when they're waiting for it to happen, the back crack scene where he's like, yeah, I've been having some back issues for a few years. Then I was like,
you want me to
what are you talking about? You want me to crack it? I know how to. Let me just.
Can you?
And the
like,
two Spider Bros he's like, does it feel better? Oh shit, that was good.
Because it's a nod to the Tobey Maguire. Oh, my back.
My back. He's like, I'm back. My back. So we're fighting Goblin. Tom is whooping that ass.
While Doctor Strange is trying to do this spell at the same time.
What he's trying to do right now is, because he needed them to be back already, he's trying to stop the universe from collapsing, because all of them are coming. Because we see the silhouette of Rhino. We see the silhouette of
Scorpion.
Of Kraven.
I
swear I saw a silhouette of Mysterio.
You might have.
I swear to God, I saw a silhouette.
I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Mysterio, but I believe Kraven made it through.
But even if he did, I don't necessarily think he would have stayed, because remember,
he would have went back immediately after.
He would have went back with everybody else. So either way, Peter's beating the ever-loving shit out of Goblin while this is happening, and
the Goblin is eating. The Goblin is eating all of it.
And so he's just about to fucking stab him with the glider when Toby Peter comes in and goes, bro, don't do it. I've been there. Like, do not go to that place. And in that moment, by letting it down, Goblin stabs fucking Peter. And bro, I thought he was dead. I thought that was it. I was like, bro. The hesitancy and another nigga gotta die right now. I was like, McGuire really don't want to do no more Spider-Man films, do we? So eventually he knocks the shit out of Goblin, hits him with the cure, and then he's just Norman now, and he's like, oh my God, what did I do? That's when Tom Peter comes up with the idea of like, okay, we just gotta. What if we said that no one knows who Peter Parker is? We can't redo the spell, but what if we say no one knows who Peter Parker is? Then the people that know Peter Parker, Spider-Man, they wouldn't be coming here to negate the spell, the terms of the spell. And Stranger's like, are you sure? Because that means once I do this, nobody knows who you are. He's like, yeah. He's like, just can you hold it for like 3 minutes for me to say goodbye? So he goes and says goodbye to his Spider Bros. He goes and says goodbye to Ned. And then he gives this really sad fucking goodbye to MJ. But he's just like, hey, it's like, I don't remember what movie it was, but I'll find you. I'll come and find you. That's it.
Is it Sleep in Seattle? You Got Mail? One of the white people movies.
One of those, but it also reminded me, like, this is gonna sound fucked up, but A Dog's Journey, how the dog keeps coming back and finding Dennis Quaid, my nigga.
Nigga!
Hey, bro. Really.
I said what I said.
But it was a really emotional moment. The spell gets cast. Everybody disappears back. He goes to try and say something like he gets his dusty ass apartment. He's got to take his GD, but he's going to go and say to MJ and Ned, "Hey, I'm Peter Parker," has a speech prepared. And once he sees how happy they are, and after everything they went through, he's like, I can't do it. They're going to
I can't do it.
I need them to be okay. And so that is essentially where we end the movie. Is he goes and makes his new suit.
Yeah, he lets go of all his Stark tech.
All the Stark tech is gone. He has a moment with Happy. Happy doesn't know who he is, but Happy obviously knew May, and so the two of them have a conversation or whatever. And then he buys his apartment. He makes his new suit, which I like. The suit is just too shiny for me. I don't know why this nigga out here glossing and gliding.
This nigga in aquamarine blue.
My nigga literally looks like he's about to go do Magic Mike, The Last Dance, or whatever the fuck it's called. Spider-Man. Flipping into that pussy, ma'am. Like nigga, I just thought that he was good.
What?
Well, shit.
Where bitches at? It's supposed to be titties. Where the fucking titties and the bitches?
So the movie ends. We get our first post credit, which is Tom Hardy, Eddie Brock, and Venom chilling at a bar. Be like, so wait a minute, you got a nigga with magic stones and shit?
Purple dude with magic stones. There's a big green guy.
For 5 years, there's a big green guy. That shit don't make no sense. And so he's like, all right, well, we'll leave. He's like, no, you got to pay, dog. He's like, nah, I got to go figure this shit out. And that's when he gets zapped back. But what we see, and is a setup for, a piece of the symbiote pops off of them before they leave, and it stays.
Yeah.
So that's allowing for the symbiote now to go find Peter and to do the black suit properly, and then ultimately the Eddie Brock of this universe, and even potentially, because we have Flash now knowing, well, I guess he doesn't know who Peter is anymore, but you have the potential with Flash to become Agent Venom as well. So
I think that is kind. I was thinking about that too. Like, yeah, because of the Flash, I'm like, that might be a reach. We're more so going to get a proper Eddie Venom. Like, I think we're going to get. Eddie Brock. We're going to get an Eddie Brock that looks similar to the cartoon Eddie Brock, but not as muscular, probably.
You know what I'm saying? For sure. And then our last post credit is actually the trailer for Multiverse of Madness, which looks incredible. Which
it's a horror movie. I don't give a shit about nothing. So full on.
There's two things that I love about this. The first, that Wanda doesn't seem to be the main antagonist. I was honestly concerned about that. I didn't mind if she was slightly.
No, Wanda's the trailer not going to show you that. Wanda's the villain of this movie.
They made it very clear who the villain is. The villain is the evil Doctor Strange from What If, because that nigga pops up and he goes, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're in for. It's between Mordo and the evil Strange. It's very clear that those are the two main villains.
Shout out to Chiwetel Ejiofor with his cornrows, too.
My nigga did come through. He was like, look, I've been learning this evil magic, nigga, so I got my fight hair ready, nigga. You about to catch me. My nigga, like, you about to catch these hands. Like,
Wanda was like, I made some mistakes. The nigga said, look, bitch, I ain't here to talk about Westview. Look, there's in the past. Like,
we
you are white.
Westview.
He's like, you are a white woman that did white woman shit and you got away with it. It works. So
what?
Again, Wanda is a white woman that kidnapped a town and was able to walk scot fucking free.
Did you literally just call Wanda a supernatural Karen, nigga?
This bitch.
I hate you so much. So either way, we're at the end of the movie, man. We've gone for a good hour. What is your final takeaway, and what would you rate the film, bro?
It depends on what the scale is.
5. Do I have 5?
A scale of 1 to 5, I give this movie a 6. Nigga. I give this movie a 6, nigga. This movie hit everything I wanted. Again, I said this to a lot of people. Even if the two other Spider-Man didn't show up, Charlie Cox doesn't show up, it was still a Spider-Man movie, which up to this point have been relatively good. John Watts knows what he's doing. But we got everything. The story worked. Peter finally learned lessons that he could only learn. Everybody was like, he has to learn them from Tony. No, he learned them from Spider-Man. So now he knows how to be this hero. He knows about loss on a major level. Because losing Tony Stark is one thing, but losing Aunt May is another. He knows about the love loss because he has to either decide if he wants to relearn to meet MJ and get with her again or just let her be. Ned nods to becoming the Hobgoblin when he says, I won't
They
get
asked, it was like, oh, my best friend became a villain and tried to kill me. And he goes, I promise I won't do that. Let me look up and see if there's any other Ned leads out there.
which is the Hobgoblin. So it's so much. Again, this trilogy concluded itself perfectly. And the next set of movies, because he signed on for 3 more movies. We don't know if they're individual Spider-Man movies, if he's Spider-Man appearing in movies or whatever the case yet. But we know Spider-Man 4. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, Spider-Man 4 is in development right now. Kevin Feige's already announced
Spider-Man 4.
Kevin Feige has already announced it.
No. If I remember correctly, he's signed on for 3 more solo Spider-Man films in the MCU. He already had a film or 2 left on the contract to just do a Spider-Man appearance. So
no. Oh, no. It was just this to close out.
No. He had one more. He had one more appearance, and then they announced that they signed on for 3 more movies for them.
I thought this was considered the MCU appearance. That's why.
There was one more after this.
Because this is a Sony movie.
Remember what happened? It was a wrap after Endgame or after Far From Home, and that's when the negotiations happened. And they're like, "We're gonna do No Way Home." So they renegotiated No Way Home and another appearance in the MCU. But then they made the announcement like a couple weeks ago. Actually, Tom Holland's gonna remain the MCU Spider-Man for 3 more films. So I'm pretty sure that means that they still have the off appearance and then 3 solo titles in the MCU.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you give it a 6. I'll be realistic and give it a 5 out of 5, man. This is the movie done at its greatest. That I have so much faith. A lot of people have said this now in John Watts for Fantastic Four. After watching,
I saved that statement for you at least. I have no problem with him having Fantastic Four.
I genuinely have never been excited about a Fantastic Four film, but knowing that the man that did this trilogy, but specifically this film, pulled that off. I know it was a team, but he was the one at the helm here. I have full faith that he can pull that off. I thought it took some of the worst parts that I didn't like about Spider-Man films in the past and completely didn't retcon them, but made a tweak to make them that much better. I thought Tom Holland, Willem Dafoe, Zendaya, Jacob Batalon, everyone stepped their fucking game up here. And I genuinely think that there's at least 2, Tom and Dafoe, that deserve Oscar nods at the very least. All I hope at this point is that this movie does the box office that it should.
It's doing it already.
It is. What makes me nervous about the follow-up week, especially with Christmas, is everything is how Omicron and Delta are like. What did James Franco say in Pineapple Express? If Omicron and Delta came together and booked, that would be the baby that comes out as this super COVID, and that's the concern that's happening right now. So So I really hope that that's not something that we run into as an issue.
COVID-19. I blow the wind of God on you.
So either way, man, phenomenal film. I'm going to see it
Yes.
at least 2 more times in theaters. I want to check it out in Dolby Cinema, not just IMAX. IMAX was dope, but Dolby Cinema is its own little beast. Can't speak highly of it enough. So with that, y'all, thank you so much for joining us for the last hour, 10 minutes to talk about Spider-Man, bro. Like, we had a great time doing it, and we're going to try and do more of these for the Blerds in the Hood channel. Specifically, we each do our kind of our own thing on some stuff.
I didn't realize I didn't know we were going to do more of these together. See, he made a decision for the both of us, and what that means.
You do that a lot, so I just thought I'd return the favor.
That is fair. that is very that is fair.
Just be real with it, my nigga.
You see how to go with that is,
Jay was
okay. Well, he got a point.
Jay was kind of like, yeah, you got to be careful where you falling, nigga. I just
you gotta be careful where you falling, yeah.
But Jay, tell them where they can find you. What you got going on, man?
Twitter, Instagram, and Mr. J Washington, MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. Mad Titan Podcast is coming back after the beginning of the year. We took the rest of the year off. I had to get a lot of things situated. It's been a busy year. I'm with this guy, every Tuesday and Thursday, 2 p.m. Pacific. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. We might have to go to. Do you have to work You'll find out your schedule. Because again, and also, if you're watching this now on the 18th when we drop it, on the 26th, we got to figure out if we're doing Blerds After Dark for the last of the year. So we'll figure out how to do that. Your sinuses. Anyways, yeah, that's that. I'll be in St. George, Utah from the 27th through the 31st for the Electric Comedy Festival. I'll be performing opening night, Laughed After Dark Fest at the Electric Theater. And that depends on if this Osmosis Jones variant don't go crazy. So that's that.
Yep. You know where to find me anywhere that Swaggy Blerds are sold: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and my YouTube channel, which I've revived. I've got both the non-spoiler review and the spoiler review of Spider-Man No Way Home up there, so check that out. I'm obviously here every Tuesday and Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific for Blerds in the Hood. You'll see me on the big thing talking about No Way Home as well. Did a lot of talks about this film. You'll see me occasionally over on Citizen, so definitely check that out, letting you know what's going on in your neighborhood. And that's pretty much it. I'm kind of calling it a year. There will be a couple little things here and there. So other than Blerds, it will be kind of quiet until we get to the new year. But I put up my my new hosting reel. If you're just bored and you want to check it out, by all means, check it out. It's pretty cool. And that's it. I'll have a lot of stuff happening in the new year that I'm excited to talk about. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you are here and you're aware of what's going on. But please go give us a subscription over on Jay's channel, Jay Washington 80. And mine, the Swaggy Blerd. I try and keep it consistent across all the things, so it should be easy to find. So,
nigga, Jay Washington is a Filipino basketball player, and
Mr. Jay Washington was gone.
Yeah, that was gone too. So
I don't know what to tell you, nigga. It is what it is. I mean,
I mean, all right, we gotta go. We gotta
get out of here, y'all. So much love to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.